Hostage rescued. A man is in custody and a juvenile is safe after a barricade situation in Wake Forest. We'll break down the moments the suspect was taken into custody.
And our next weather maker is a cold front diving across our area. It arrives just in time for some rain this evening and then brings us cold for the weekend.
Also, Raleigh mass shooter sentencing, what we can expect in today's testimonies in the hearing for Austin Thompson. WRAL News at 8 on Fox 50 starts in less than 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Good morning. A lot to get to here in this 8 o'clock hour on Fox 50. We so appreciate your time. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Renee Chu. Great to have you with us on this Friday where we are not talking about any winter storm, no snow, no ice, but we do have rain a little later today. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking that all for us.
It looks gorgeous outside right now with partly cloudy skies, but the clouds will thicken up late this afternoon, and right about the evening commute, we'll have some rain that rolls in. It's likely to continue through dinner time, so keep that in mind if you have plans to go to dinner or maybe head out to a movie. You could run into some of those showers, but they'll be long gone by tomorrow, and we'll be back to sunshine. It's a pretty start here as we take a look at our Garner Tower camera. You can see just a few clouds. It looks like there's a little bit of ice on the camera lens right over here, but definitely a beautiful start. It's a lot colder than this time yesterday by about 10 degrees. 24 is our temperature, but our winds are calm, so no wind chill. It's 26 in Southern Pines, 23 in Goldsboro, Rocky Mount, and Wilson, and 21 up in South Hill. We climb up above freezing by the time we get to 9 or 10 o'clock this morning, and we'll climb to a high of 48. But behind tonight's front will be much colder and windy too. We'll take a look at the wind chill for Saturday coming up. Ken?
All right, checking the morning commute here in the 8 o'clock hour. We're seeing some congestion building on that northern loop of the Beltline right there, the I-87 440 split all the way over to Capitol Boulevard. Here's what we're looking at on that northern loop of the Beltline as we isolate it for you this morning. You're looking at a 9-minute delay, but once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's clear sailing all the way to Wade Avenue. So I would recommend that southern loop of the Beltline. And if you have time and you want to stay on that northern loop of the Beltline, once you get past Capitol Boulevard, you can see right here, I-440 and Ridge Road, you can see traffic flowing at a nice steady clip. Those westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. As we widen out the view, give you a look at other routes coming into the Raleigh area. Really very little to no delays, except up Finch in Wake Forest. You're looking at a 7-minute delay if you're coming in on US 1. So just keep that in mind. That's a combination of the traffic lights and the usual morning congestion. We're seeing very little to no delays on those major routes heading into Durham as well. Short of our friends in Wake Forest on Highway 98, you're looking right now at an 8-minute delay. So keep that in mind as you get ready to head out. You getting into the car, though, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
We're following breaking news. A man has been taken into custody after a hostage situation in Wake Forest. The child hostage is safe. Ali Calabar is live at the Wake Forest Police Department right now. And Ali, you were at the New Hope Village Apartments, and you and photographer Michael Joyner saw this all unfold. There were some pretty intense moments there.
Yes, very intense, and we know that this hostage situation lasted about 7 hours, and then it all wrapped up within a matter of minutes. We saw a man walk out of the apartment with his hands up, and then police demanded him to go down on his knees and take a look at what happened next.
Go down to your knees! Go down to your knees!
So you heard officers telling him to go down on his knees, and when he didn't, they used a stun grenade. He then went down to the ground, and police took him into custody. Shortly after, we saw officers carry a child out of the apartment. The child appeared to be okay, but this has been an active situation for about several hours. It cleared within the past hour, but We know that officers were dispatched to this apartment around 11:30 last night. The man was barricaded inside the apartment off of North Allen Road for about 7 hours until he then surrendered to police. Now, we are at the Wake Forest Police Department, and we are working to find out more information about what led up to this hostage situation involving a child. Reporting live in Wake Forest, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Well, today the prosecution is set to wrap up its case in the sentencing hearing for Austin Thompson. The teenager shot and killed 5 people back in 2022 in the Raleigh-Hedingham neighborhood. WRAL's Flynn Snyder is live outside the Wake County Justice Center this morning. And Flynn, yesterday saw some powerful testimony from victims' family members and Thompson's own father.
Yeah, Ken, that's right. Day 4 of testimony today. Yesterday, Thompson's dad took the stand. He said he did not see any warning signs in his son leading up to that mass shooting in Raleigh's Hedingham neighborhood. We also heard from Jasmine Torres once again. She's the wife of Raleigh police officer Gabriel Torres, who was killed in the shooting. She spoke directly to Thompson, saying that the confessed shooter deserves to be kept locked away.
Look at me, Austin. You stole his life. You stole my life. You stole my daughter's life.
Now, her testimony comes as prosecutors read a chilling note that then 15-year-old Thompson left behind. In it, he writes, "I did this because I hate humans." When court resumes at 9:30 this morning, the defense team is expected to cross-examine a digital investigator who testified about Thompson's lengthy and extensive internet search history leading up to the shooting. The prosecution is set to wrap its case today before all eyes turn to next week when the defense is expected to begin its presentation. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
We have extensive coverage of this case on our YouTube page that includes the most impactful moments from testimony and analysis from our team of reporters.
Several students at Shaw University have been displaced after a fire at one of the dormitories. The fire department confirmed this morning that it appears to be an accidental electrical fire. The fire happened last night on the 3rd floor of the Dimple Newsom dorm. The fire department says the 3rd floor is unlivable. Students we spoke with say they've had to go without heat and hot water during one of the coldest winters in years. One freshman we spoke with says the cold has forced some students to use space heaters.
The rooms have no heat, so they're like freezing cold. So you probably had a heater and maybe left it on a little too long, and it caught on the sheets and caught on the bed and everything.
We are trying to figure out when exactly students will be able to return to that dorm. WRAL has previously reported on similar issues at dorms at Shaw. In a statement, the university says they are aware of the heating and water issues and that they're working to fix them.
Raleigh police have released the autopsy of a man shot and killed at North Hills restaurant just over a year ago. Police say Jonathan Schaefer was shot and killed by Raleigh's Coquette restaurant last January. The autopsy confirms that Schaefer was shot 8 times. Police say he was killed by head chef George Cullum Jr. Schaefer and another co-worker were shot as they were preparing to open that restaurant. The other employee was taken to a Wake County area hospital with minor injuries, and police say Cullum shot and killed himself.
It has been nearly 1 week since the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie from her home in Tucson, Arizona. Authorities in Pima County are giving us new details about the timeline of her disappearance. They say her doorbell camera was disconnected at 1:47 Sunday morning, and software within the home detected a person on camera about 25 minutes later, but there's no video available. Her blood was also found on the porch of her home. Meanwhile, Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie and her siblings are pleading for the safe return of their mother after reports of a ransom letter connected to the disappearance.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
The sheriff there in Arizona believes Nancy Guthrie is still alive. So far, there are no suspects linked to her disappearance.
We're getting a detailed look at Kerry's finances from 2025 and our first look at the independent audit of the resignation of the town manager, Sean Stiegel. The new information released at a town council meeting last night. The feedback about the town's financial statements were mostly favorable, but the audit also showed Stiegel did not emphasize the need for compliance or accountability.
The results of our procedures did indicate that your former town manager did not always consistently model or reinforce the expected ethical behavior that is laid out in your policy.
Another area of weakness in the audit was a missing financial report from the town related to a $2.1 million grant. It's important to note the independent audit did not review 100% of the town's transactions in 2025. The state auditor, Wake County District Attorney, the SBI, and a private law firm are also investigating the town's finances.
Trump RX. The White House is launching a new tool aimed at helping people get affordable prescription drugs. We'll explain how this new presidential portal works.
Also heading to break, we want to give you a live look at downtown Cary Park this morning, where Olympic fans will be celebrating the start of the games this weekend. We'll tell you about that fun and more coming up in this weekend's Out and About segment.
It looks so beautiful in Cary right now, doesn't it? But later on this evening, we have rain that comes through with our next rainmaker. Our next weather maker brings us that rain for the evening commute through dinner time and then turns it much colder for the weekend. I'll show you coming up. It's 8:14. Our next weather maker up here around the Great Lakes, bringing a good bit of snow. That will drop in on us and bring us rain for this evening through dinner time, and then some much colder temperatures for the weekend. The rain begins around 4 or 5 o'clock, so it's going to be a wet evening commute for us, but then it starts to taper off by around 7 or 8. There might be another round overnight, but it would be minimal in terms of any impacts. A live look at North Hills. You can see the sunshine here on the buildings, and our temperatures are chilly. We're in the 20s right now, 21 in Lewisburg, 25 in Fayetteville, 21 in South Hill, and 24 in Goldsboro. Dog walking forecast about 10 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday. But this afternoon, we'll climb into the mid to upper 40s. By the afternoon, we're cloudy again. And of course, we'll be dealing with some rain. I'll show you what the wind chill will make it feel like Saturday. Coming up, Ken.
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, we're seeing that slowdown, that congestion of that northern loop of the Beltline this morning. It really starts right there, the I-87 440 split, all the way over to Capitol Boulevard. It's a situation that we've been looking at. We're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, if there's an accident or maybe this is just a morning congestion. As soon as I know, I'll let you know. And of course, I have some drive times on some other major routes coming into Raleigh coming up in less than 10 minutes.
Ken, thank you. President Donald Trump has officially rolled out his new effort to lower prescription drug costs. The White House unveiled the new Trump RX website last night. This site allows people to buy certain medicines at a discounted price directly from drug makers. The president says he has landed deals with nearly 20 pharmaceutical companies to list certain products on the new portal. That includes certain weight loss drugs like Wegovy.
You will see dramatic reductions in the cost of popular weight loss drugs known as GLP-1s. Novo Nordisk will be slashing the price, as an example, of Ozempic from more than $1,000 to $199, and the price of Wegovy from more than $1,300 to $199.
The platform is designed for people willing to pay cash instead of using insurance, and it encourages people to check their copay first. Officials say the website is free to use and more medications will be added soon.
And happening now in the WRAL Live Center, women's figure skating is now underway at the Winter Olympics. We just had some information about the current competitor that's going right now, but it looks like that went away. Let's talk a little bit about who just finished. So Korea just finished with a final score of 68.8, and it looks like the U.S. is going to be coming up within the next couple of competitors. Alyssa Liu will be number 9 out of 10 competitors, and so far it looks like Korea there is in first place.
The best of the NFL were gathered last night ahead of the Super Bowl weekend. The 2026 NFL Honors Awards were held in San Francisco. The big prize announced last night, the NFL MVP, that went to LA Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford. He beat out Patriots QB and UNC grad Drake May by 1 vote.
Bad Bunny is being tight-lipped about his Super Bowl halftime show. The rapper sat down to talk about his big performance yesterday. He expressed his gratitude and excitement for the opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl, telling the crowd that he wants to make this year's halftime show fun and culturally rich.
I don't want to give any spoilers. It's going to be fun and it's going to be easy, and people only have to worry about dance. I know that I told them that they had 4 months to learn Spanish. They don't even have to learn Spanish. They just it's better if they learn to dance.
Bad Bunny also hinted at having possible guests during his performance.
And don't forget, you can watch the big game Super Bowl 60 on WRAL. The Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots at kickoff. It's at 6:30 p.m.
So there's the Super Bowl, the Olympics, and also a weekend full of fun events after winter weather, shut down the area for the last 2 weekends.
Boy, we got a lot going on this weekend. It's time for WRAL's Out and About Best Bets. Let's start with the Astronomy Days will be this weekend at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. Of course, it was rescheduled after that winter weather. The free event includes opportunities to meet scientists, hands-on activities, and a whole lot more family-friendly fun. This year's theme is Passport to the Moon. The event will run through tomorrow and Sunday.
Triangle Pop-Up and Raleigh Ironworks is hosting a Lunar New Year market this weekend. The event will include food trucks and chances to shop from AAPI-owned businesses. The market will be at the Raleigh Ironworks on Atlantic Avenue tomorrow from 11 to 4. And then happening tomorrow in Cary, an Olympic watch party in downtown Cary Park. The event will include big screens to watch the Winter Games. There will also be a chance for people to test their skills with games and challenges, and that will last from 1 to 5 tomorrow. For more weekend best bets, go to WRAL.com and search Out and About. And there will certainly be more people out and about, but you'll definitely want to bundle up and layer up. It's going to be a cold weekend,
Yeah,
Ken.
it really is, and it feels cold today. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
Rain that rolls in this evening, and that could interrupt your plans. First of all, getting home, you may have to drive through some rain, and then as you're heading out to maybe dinner or a movie, the showers will continue, but they mostly taper off by around 8 p.m. Then it becomes windy behind this front. Saturday will be windy and cold. High temperatures in the 30s, and the wind chill will be in the 20s all day. Remember, yesterday we were dealing with some rain, a little bit of slick. We had a few slick roads yesterday. Still seeing that back here across the Triad, where they had a little better chance of some snow. And then in the mountains in Hendersonville, they actually had a little measurable snow yesterday. And we have some pictures of that from Hendersonville, where we have that video that we can show for you. Just some photos, and you can see it was a beautiful little dusting there. They will likely see that again tonight with our cold front. And so they just had round after round of snowfall in the western part of the state. And I think, the skiers are definitely happy about that. Here's a look at where our front is right now. It's dropping across St. Louis. It's a fast mover, so it'll be in and out with the rain that we see right around the evening commute. And then behind the front, it is windy on Saturday. Let's take a look at Futurecast. We'll time it out in terms of the rain arriving. It becomes cloudier by the afternoon. A few stray showers at 3, and it's more widespread there at 5 o'clock. Up into Virginia and in the mountains, it's likely to be snow, but for us, it looks like rain. The bulk of it's over by around 8 o'clock, but overnight, early tomorrow morning, there could be one more quick band that comes through. But for the most part, it shouldn't be affecting most of us. Friday, today, 48 degrees, 37 Saturday, and 39 on Sunday. So no winter storm, but my goodness, it's going to be cold. It'll feel like the 20s all day tomorrow with the breezy conditions. Heading out to a Super Bowl party, 6 p.m., 35 degrees on Sunday, and then 29 at 10 o'clock, but we'll be nice and clear. All right, finally, we're going to break out of the deep freeze. Tuesday and Wednesday, much warmer, finally above normal with low to mid 60s both days, Ken.
Take take that Virgin Islands weather. Thank you, Elizabeth. Hey, we're following that situation on that northern loop of the Beltline. Here's what we're talking about. It's right there at the I-87 440 split all the way over to Capitol Boulevard. We're seeing that congestion. And I think this is just the usual morning congestion. Right now, you're looking at a 6-minute delay. But once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's clear sailing all the way to Wade Avenue, because as you can see from this live view of I-440 and Ridge Road, the westbound lanes moving away from us, and really traffic flowing at a nice steady clip this morning. As we widen out the view, give you a look at all the other major routes heading into Raleigh. Really, the only troubled spot is US 1 coming in from Wake Forest. You're looking at a 4-minute delay, and that's not really going to make you late, really. But if you're coming in from Apex on US 1 North, no delays. Just a 1-minute delay if you're coming in from Durham this morning on I-40 eastbound. I-87, no delays whatsoever. And of course, it's completely delay-free. If you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County, no delays between Highway 36 and the Beltline. Over in Durham, similarly, we're not seeing any delays on those major routes as well. We are picking up a little bit of a slowdown on those on Highway 98. If you're in Wake Forest and you're coming in, heading to Durham this morning, you're looking at a 9-minute delay. But again, that's over in Wake Forest. Just make sure you know that as you get ready to head out. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. School officials charged. The accusations surrounding 3 administrators with Durham Public Schools and the new lawsuit accusing them of tying up a 6-year-old student with autism. Now, if you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video or pictures of the weather where you are, please report it to us.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
It is 8:26. I'm Renee Chu. A frigid Friday, but some sunshine out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner lets us know when that sunshine will make way for some rain.
Yes, finally, once we get into the afternoon, the clouds thicken up and we'll end up with some rain right around the time of the evening commute. That will taper off right around 7 or 8 o'clock, but it's kind of a busy window, getting home from work, maybe heading out to dinner. Temperatures right now are in the low to mid 20s, so it's colder than it was this time yesterday. Our temperature, though, by lunchtime climbs into the upper 30s to low 40s. And then your commute forecast coming home definitely will be a bit wet. We'll be dropping down into the 30s, but we're not expecting anything frozen with this one, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're keeping an eye on the congestion that we're seeing right now here on the northern loop of the Beltline. It's right here between Highway 440 and 87, all the way over to Capitol Boulevard. Right now, this is what we're seeing in terms of your delays. It was up to like 9 minutes a little bit ago, but you know what? If you, depending on where you're coming from this morning, you might want to take that southern loop of the Beltline just to be on the safe side. Coming up, I'll take a look at some other drive times and some other routes heading into Raleigh at the bottom of the hour over on Fox 50.
A hostage situation in Wake Forest now over. A man in custody and a child saved. WRAL was there the moment officers took the suspect into custody.
Go down to your knees. Go down to your knees.
This happened at the New Hope Village Apartments, ending just after 6:30 this morning. Today, court resumes at 9:30 in the Austin Thompson sentencing hearing. The defense will ask questions about the 2022 mass shooter's internet search history. Today is also expected to be the last day for the prosecution's presentation, and next week, Thompson's defense team will begin its presentation.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Hostage situation over. A man is in custody and a child is safe after a barricade situation in Wake Forest. The intense moments that led to him in handcuffs.
And I'm tracking your next weather maker. This is a cold front that'll swing through, bring us some rain this evening and then some colder air for the weekend.
University dorm fire.
The rooms have no heat, so they're like freezing cold.
Yes, students left in the cold after a fire at Shaw University. The questions we're asking about how ongoing problems in the buildings may have played a role.
Murder trial sentencing, powerful testimonies revealing new information, including a confession note. What we're expecting today in the case of the Raleigh mass shooter. So much to tell you about here at 8:30. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Ken Smith. For the first weekend in 2 weekends, but not wondering about a winter snowstorm, although we do have some rain in the forecast. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Garner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
Yes, it's a cold start out there, but we're seeing mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. This cold front will bring a little rain and then deliver some really cold air for the weekend. Yeah, no wintry precipitation, but it's going to be pretty bitter. By the time we get to 4 or 5 o'clock, we start to see some showers rolling in. Most of it ends around 7 or 8 o'clock, but there could be maybe another stray round overnight. It's a pretty start here as we look over our Garner Tower. You can see that gorgeous sunshine there and mostly blue sky. 24 is our current temperature, and our temperature, of course, is definitely colder than it was this time yesterday. 25 in Fayetteville, 23 in Rocky Mount, as well as Roxborough and South Hill. And hour by hour, we climb into the upper 40s for highs this afternoon. Behind the front, temperatures could be as much as 10 degrees colder, plus the wind chill will make it feel bitter on Saturday. We'll take a look coming up. Ken?
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're keeping an eye on that northern loop of the Beltline. Weather 5, if you don't mind, please. That northern loop of the Beltline, we're seeing a situation where there's really a big slowdown between I-87 split to Capitol Boulevard. And right now you're looking at an 8-minute delay on that northern loop. But I would actually recommend that southern loop of the Beltline. But if you're stuck on that northern loop of the Beltline, once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's clear sailing on I-440 Ridge Road. You can see the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. So as we widen out the view, give you a look at those other routes coming into the Raleigh-Wake County area, very little to no delays, to be quite honest with you. 1 minute if you're coming in I-40 eastbound, there's that delay that I told you about in that northern loop of the Beltline. And look, this southern loop of the Beltline, all free and clear. You're looking at a 5-minute delay, though, if you're coming in from Wake Forest on US 1 and those southbound lanes. Similarly, very little to no delays on any of those major routes heading into Durham. Short of a 5-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest headed to Durham from on Highway 98. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
We're working to learn more about the man police took into custody after a hostage situation in Wake Forest earlier this morning. The child hostage is safe. Ali Calabar is live outside the Wake Forest Police Department right now in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. And Ali, you saw this all unfold over at the New Village Apartments about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, Renee, and we were there for some of that negotiation process, and we saw officers kind of going out with their rifles as well. It was pretty calm, but it escalated quickly within a matter of minutes, and it all happened after that man walked outside of the apartment building. And take a look at this video of what happened after, and you can only find it on WRAL.
Go down to your knees! Go down to your knees!
Very intense moments there. So we saw the man walk out of the apartment with his hands up. Officers then told him to go down on his knees, and when he didn't, officers used a stun grenade. He went down to the ground and police took him into custody. Shortly after, we saw officers carry a child out of the apartment. The child appeared to be okay, but this was a very active situation for hours. We listened through police broadcastify radio traffic, and it appears that officers were first dispatched to that apartment around 11:30 last night, and we know negotiations happened at that apartment as well. Police tape lined the entire complex, and so this was a very active situation. We're working to find out more. I did just hear back from the Wake Forest Police Department saying that they are working on getting us more information about what led up to this being a child hostage situation. Reporting live in Wake Forest, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
Well, several Shaw University students are finding somewhere else to stay after a dorm room fire. The Raleigh Fire Department says the third floor is uninhabitable after what appeared to have been an accidental electrical fire. The fire started around 8 last night at the Dimple Newsom dorm. Smoke could be seen coming out of the third floor window. Students we spoke with say they aren't surprised the fire broke out. They say even the fire alarms were not working.
I walked out, I seen the smoke. We all went into the back hallway to try to put a fire alarm. The fire alarm was not working on both floors, so we all decided to split up and go to each floor and get everybody out the dorm rooms.
Well, this is the same dorm where students say they've had to go without heat and hot water for days during one of the coldest winters in years. The university addressed the issue, but it had not been resolved as of yesterday. We're now asking the university what they have done to fix these issues, where the displaced students are staying, and why did the fire alarms not work. All those questions we're trying to get answers to this morning. Well, this morning as well, more cross-examination expected in the Austin Thompson sentencing hearing. The defense team is set to question a digital investigator about Thompson's internet search history leading up to the 2022 mass shooting in the Hedingham neighborhood. WRAL's Flynn Snyder explains a new testimony that gave us a glimpse into a possible motive.
We heard from that digital investigator who detailed Thompson's extensive internet search history. It includes well over 1,000 searches for guns, school shootings, and more. We also got some clarity on years-long questions around why Thompson murdered 5 people, including his brother, in the Hedingham neighborhood. Prosecutors read a note that then 15-year-old Thompson left behind. The writings shed light on his state of mind.
Yes, this is the note as it was found. The reason I did this is because I hate humans. They are destroying the planet/Earth.
And today is expected to be the last day of the prosecution's case. Then all eyes turn to next week when the defense is expected to begin its presentation. That's when we also expect to hear once again from Thompson's mother on the stand. Court resumes this morning at 9:30. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Well, as a reminder, we will carry the court proceedings live today. Find out all of it so far and throughout this entire sentencing hearing on the WRAL YouTube page and WRAL.com.
A man is in critical condition this morning after an overnight shooting in Selma. This happened at an apartment complex on Ricks Road. When the WRAL Breaking News Tracker got there, crime scene tape blocked off the back parking lot at the Meadows Apartments. Police say they found a 20-year-old who had been shot. No motive or suspect information has been released. We now have more details about the town of Cary's finances for fiscal year 2025. We also got our first look at the results of an independent audit into the town's finances. The audit uncovered weaknesses in the town of Cary's internal controls, starting with former town manager Sean Stiegel. It said that Stiegel did not emphasize the need for compliance or accountability. The second weakness was a missing financial report from the town related to a $2.1 million grant. The town's financial director says a $23.6 million net in 2025 put the town in good position. However, these results left some with questions and concerns about Stiegel's overspending and lack of transparency.
All of those numbers, we still are not clear on where we stand in that. So again, I'm still perplexed and confused.
The state auditor, Wake County District Attorney, SBI, and a private law firm are also investigating the town's finances and the former town manager.
Investigators searching for Nancy Guthrie in Arizona have given a timeline of when she was last seen. The Pima County Sheriff's Office says at 1:47 a.m. Sunday, her doorbell camera was disconnected. 25 minutes later, software detected movement on that camera. Then just before 2:30 a.m., Nancy's pacemaker app was disconnected from her phone. Deputies still have not been able to gain access to any surveillance video and say they have no suspects. The FBI also addressed one of the ransom notes. They say it had a deadline of 5 p.m. yesterday, and if a transfer was not made, there would be a second demand Monday. Also, Guthrie's son, Cameron, released a second video pleading for their mother's return. His sister Savannah's Instagram account, that's where it appeared.
Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom.
The Pima County Sheriff also said his department found blood on Nancy Guthrie's porch. He says they believe she is still alive.
Today, the opening ceremony will mark the official start of the 2026 Winter Olympics. That will happen live at 2 p.m. on WRAL. Now, some competitions have already started. Team USA got the win over Czechia in women's hockey yesterday. The final score, 5-1. Today, figure skating team events begin. Women's ice hockey events move forward, and Team USA will compete in 2 curling matches. No medals have been awarded yet. The first honors will be awarded tomorrow morning for men's downhill alpine skiing.
happening now in the WRAL Live Center. New video from Lindsey Vogn's training session earlier this morning. You can see her here on the slopes, of course, with that torn ACL. It's really amazing how she's even able to pull this off. Her time was about a minute and 40 seconds there, but I want to draw your attention to this. She is going, 66, 65 miles per hour? That is so fast, especially with that injury. So she should be competing this Sunday, and we'll keep you updated on all things Olympics here in the Live Center.
Oh, my God. You cannot help but root for Lindsey Vonn. My goodness. Big news if you've been following the NFL Hall of Fame announcements here on WRAL. Former Panthers All-Pro linebacker Luke Kuechly was selected to join the Pro Football Hall of Fame's 2026 class. His teammates and coaches all in agreement. No one worked harder or prepared more for games than Kuechly. Congratulations to Luke, of course.
8:41, pets left behind. Neighbors are bringing animals to shelters after families next door are arrested by ICE. The Minneapolis shelter taking those pets in.
Also, mental health care. Governor Stein signing a new executive order while he believes the plan will improve public safety.
And we are slightly warmer today. We'll give you a live look over Pittsburgh. A pretty start to our frigid Friday. Coming up, meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows us when our temperatures will be near 50 degrees and our chances for afternoon rain.
.45, our next weather maker, this cold front. Look at that, bringing a lot of snow up there around the Great Lakes. Diving southward, Virginia, the mountains of North Carolina, we'll see snow out of this, but we'll see rain. It'll be fairly quick. It'll be a few hours during the evening commute up through dinner time, and then that should be the end of it. And it will leave us with a dry but very cold weekend. It's a cold start this morning. 28 in Lewisburg, 26 in Southern Pines and in Irwin. It's 25 in South Hill and 23 in Rocky Mount and Wilson. You know, there's some hardcore folks out there that might get out for a run, but it just kind of seems like an indoor exercise sort of day. If you like to exercise, later in the evening, around or after work, it'll be a little bit wet. I'm going to walk you through just how cold it will be around here through the weekend coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now, the WRAL Traffic Center. We're staying on top of that congestion we're seeing on that northern loop of the Beltline. It appears to be easing up just a little bit right at the 87-440 split to Capitol Boulevard. And as we widen out the view, give you a look at that entire loop. Right now, you're looking at a 6-minute delay. So things are getting a little better if you're getting on the northern loop of the Beltline. Depending on where you're headed this morning, I would recommend the southern loop of the Beltline because we're not seeing any delays whatsoever. Coming up, I'll take a look at some of the drive times and some of the other major routes heading into Raleigh.
Ken, thank you. 3 Durham public school administrators faced a judge on obstruction of justice charges. This is video taken yesterday. It's one you'll see only on WRAL. Tanya Wright, Tanya Giovanni, and Aisha Hunter face charges related to an incident at Eno Valley Elementary. An instructional assistant tied up a 6-year-old girl with autism using a jump rope. This was in November of 2024. Wright had resigned from DPS. Giovanni and Hunter are currently on leave.
Ms. Wright, you're being charged with 3 counts of felony obstructing justice and 1 count of perjury. You were charged with 6 counts of felony obstruction of justice, and you're also charged with 2 counts of perjury. You were charged with 5 counts of felony obstruction of justice.
WRAL has also learned the parent of the child who was tied up has now filed a lawsuit. That lawsuit names the woman who tied the child up and the other adult in the classroom. Neither of those women have been charged.
Animal rescues are seeing a new type of surrender. They're now taking in pets whose owners were detained by ICE. One shelter in Minneapolis seeing more than a dozen surrendered pets related to ICE detentions. Most were taken in by a neighbor with little to no information about where the owner was taken.
ICE came into his home and detained his owner, and as they were leaving, the owner shouted to the neighbor, I give you permission to find a new home for my animal. No matter where you land on the court of public opinion right now, everyone can agree that an animal like this is innocent and deserves love and care.
This office is also seeing more canceled vets appointments by 50%. The clinic manager says more families fear going to offices where their personal information is stored.
Governor Stein wants to bridge the gap between mental health care and criminal justice. Yesterday, he signed an executive order designed to create better coordination between the state's behavioral health and justice system. This comes after recent high-profile killings in Charlotte and in Raleigh, where the suspects had histories of mental illness. One of the key goals of this executive order is to bolster the state's ability to involuntarily commit people with dangerous mental health problems. Governor Stein says he wants to expand co-responder teams and grow awareness of helpline resources.
Law enforcement is there for us 24/7. But that can take an officer off the street fighting crime, and there may be other people who are more professionally trained to deal with the person's crisis.
Stein says many fixes depend on funding from the General Assembly. So we asked legislative leaders, what action will the General Assembly fund this session to make sure people in North Carolina are safe? House leaders say they are prioritizing mental health, adding that a committee, quote, will continue to explore ways to help the state address severe mental illness before it escalates into harm to others.
Well, during the Super Bowl, NBC Sports will do the first live sports broadcast ever from Alcatraz Island. The famous island in the San Francisco Bay was formerly a prison and Civil War fort. Now it serves as a national park and hosts guests for regular tours. With limited electricity on the island, producers had to use special barges to deliver generators and equipment. Sunday's broadcast will consist of football commentary and include stories on the island's history. And don't forget, you can watch Super Bowl 60 on WRAL. The Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. Kickoff of the big game is at 6:30 p.m.
And today is National Wear Red Day. The American Heart Association is encouraging you to wear red to raise awareness for women's heart health. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. The national campaign hopes to bring attention to the disease and help save lives. So those who do wear red today, snap a picture, post it to social media using the hashtags #WearRedDay and Go Red for Women. Let it be a reminder that we as women, we also have to take care of ourselves. We're so busy taking care of all those around us, right? But gotta keep focused on that muscle to keep going, right?
That's right. And, you can always wear the black outfit with the red jacket. That's the
Just
trending thing
like
to
this.
wear today.
I see a red low pressure here.
Yeah, we do. So our next weather maker is this cold front that comes through. It's really going to be cold out. We have a lot of things happening on Saturday. Some of those are outside. And if you're heading out, you want to get outside. We don't have a winter storm, but it's going to be awfully cold. So we'll walk through that. In the meantime, that front is going to bring us some rain for this evening. So let's hit that up first. This is lunchtime today on Futurecast. We'll roll it on through to around 4 or 5 o'clock. We'll pause it here and you can see that rain sliding into our area. So it is likely to be on the wet side for the evening commute. That rain will move on by around 7 or 8 o'clock. And then after that, there could be one more quick round, but for the most part, it'll be over. And then we'll see bright skies for the weekend. But we're going to see air coming straight out of Canada. This is a live look at RDU. Looks pretty out there right now. Some blue sky, a little bit of cloud cover. By lunchtime and after, we may be fairly cloudy. Right now it's 24, so we did have a big drop in our temperature this morning. Mainly, we're looking at mid to upper 20s right now. It's 30 in Fuquay-Varina, 24 in Chapel Hill, 24 in Cary, and 25 right now in Knightdale. A little bit of wind chill. It does feel like 19 in Fayetteville. It feels like 22 in Southern Pines. It's 23 in Rocky Mount. It's 25 in South Hills. So it's a cold start out there for sure. Watch what happens. Of course, temperatures right now are below freezing, or below normal, but watch the purple shaded area drop in on us by Saturday and Sunday. So that takes us down another level in terms of being below normal. 48 for today. 37 Saturday, 39 on Sunday. Those are way normal than normal, way colder than normal. Our wind gust forecast 35 to 40. So that means the wind chill on Saturday is going to be pretty extreme. It's going to feel like low to mid 20s during the afternoon. So just be prepared for that if you're planning to head out. A lot of people headed to a Super Bowl party. I got a chilly day for us in Raleigh, but 63 in San Francisco. We've got some California weather coming our way for next week. Look at that. 61 Tuesday, 64 on Wednesday with sunshine. That day you can break out and enjoy.
Now, before we go to break, here's a look at the winning lottery numbers as our Fountain Mountain shrinks. We'll get